Hey, Real Writers, Chris here, and I wanted to talk to you quickly, although that's not the right way to put it, about anxiety, because anxiety is not really a quick topic, but um, I have a little meditation that I filmed for you, sort of a releasing kind of meditation, and I wanted to just do a quick intro to say that I was thinking about writers and poets, creative people who have anxiety, because I am a creative person who has anxiety. I've had it my whole life, and I'm going through another period of dealing with it, not as intensely as I did the first time I had sort of a breakdown, I guess you could say. I was 31 when I sort of, well, I guess you could call it a breakdown. I don't know, but I realized I had generalized anxiety disorder, and apparently a lot of 30 somethings were having that at the time. This was 1997 because I saw it on a magazine cover, and that's how I diagnosed myself. So while I was horrified to be a cliche, I was grateful to find that information. But I've, again, had it my whole life. I have vivid memories of being a child and a teenager with experiencing various moments of anxiety. So I'm currently away on a writing retreat, what I'm calling a writing retreat, but honestly is just an opportunity for me to chill out, because for the last few months, I've been having a lot of anxiety, and it's been great to sort of completely get away from everything and everyone and not have to talk to anybody or do anything anybody expects me to, not have to, not have to do anything that I normally do in my routine, and especially to be away from my house in a very, very noisy, stressful neighborhood that I'm trying to get out of by selling my house. And it looks like that's pretty close to happening. So I'm hoping that within the next month I will be living somewhere else that's much more quiet. But it's very quiet here. I'm at my sister's house on the Chesapeake Bay, and it is so beautiful outside. So I wanted to film a little sort of releasing meditation for you if you are struggling with anxiety, or whether you're a creative person or not. I hope it helps. But I'm especially reaching out to you if you're a writer or a poet, because we have our normal lives and we have our creative lives, and we struggle to keep up with our creative lives when everything else seems to get in the way. And I don't know anyone who doesn't have a day job who's a creative person, who's a writer. So that's another layer. And we're always on. We're always tuning in and absorbing what's happening around us, and observing what's happening around us, and experiencing through other people what they're experiencing. And we forget that that's happening all the time. We don't have very good boundaries most of the time, and we're just absorbing all the time because everything is fodder for a story or a poem. And we need to learn to detach and have better boundaries and not be so porous. Not everything has to be a story. We could just have the experience and maybe just tuck it away, and maybe it'll come back and maybe it won't. But I think we feel a lot of pressure to produce and to be further ahead than we are, and maybe we're comparing ourselves to other people, whether they are friends we love or people we're jealous of or envious of. There's just, it can be tricky, and a lot goes into our creative work, and much as we love it, it can still, like I said, take its toll. So I wanted to film a little something for you and encourage you, if you haven't and you're experiencing anxiety, to go see your doctor and have a checkup, maybe do some blood work, make sure that you don't have a vitamin deficiency, drink a lot of water, get some sleep, get some exercise, cut back on caffeine and sugar, carve out more time for yourself for quiet. Don't use every available moment to write. I know that's easy for me to say, and I feel that pressure too, but you have to take time just to stare into space or read a book or take a walk too. You need to have downtime too, not always be producing. And surround yourself with people who can be supportive and understanding about what you're going through, that you can tell the truth about how you're feeling. That's a real gift. So on to the meditation, and I hope it helps. So I'm back, and this is the view from the house, from the dock, actually, on the Chesapeake Bay. Pretty lovely. The tide is going out. It's about I don't know, 5:30 something, almost 6, I guess. And the water is so smooth and lovely. Hope it's not too bright because the sun just came out from behind a cloud. But I wanted to do this thing. I have these stones with me, and I always collect rocks wherever I go. And I thought that while I was here, I would write words on these rocks. I have 4 of them. And then I would sort of cast them into the water as a way of releasing them. So I wanted to do that with you so that you could experience it as well. So the first rock, and I don't think you can see it. Well, you can't see it. It's shaped like that. You can't really see what I wrote on it. I wrote fear on it. So take a moment to think of the things that you're afraid of. Not to the point where you make yourself worried and anxious and actually afraid, but just the things that make you afraid that you want to release. We'll just take a moment to do that. Okay, and now I want you to say with me or to yourself, depending on where you're watching this, I release fear. The next stone, which again you can't really see what I wrote on it, but has this lovely oval shape, says doubt. So again, let's take a moment and think of the doubts that we have. Again, say it with me or to yourself. I release doubt. The next one says judgment. So take a moment to think about the ways you judge yourself and others, and how the ways in which you feel that others are judging you. And now we say, I release judgment. The last one is the biggie. It says anxiety. Think about what triggers your anxiety, the experience of anxiety, the thoughts that bring up anxiety, or just, if you can tolerate it, what it feels like in your body. And, anything associated with anxiety. And now say, I release anxiety. Take a deep breath. I hope that helped. I hope you feel lighter. I'm going to leave you here for a few minutes to enjoy this beautiful view. Just think of this water carrying anything that's bothering you or that's in your way, or any way in which you feel less than. It's carrying it away out to sea.